behind. A good trio to watch, to keep an eye on, because history, so much history there. Okay, so the green flag has been waved, and we are now into the first of the warm-up laps. Wow, the old.
Who would have thought that during the round 3 of the Vios Cup Season 2, I was just amongst the crowd as I watched these Vios race cars go around the Manila Bay Circuit. Then just last year, I drove one. Last year, September 2019, I saw a post about Toyota Racing School accepting enrollees for their Level 1 class where they'll teach the racing basics such as braking, car control, and the racing line at the Clark International Speedway. I really wanted to enroll, so I registered the following day from when I saw the post. But after a day or two, I received an email indicating that there are no more vacant slots left. It was really sad for me as I really wanted to experience driving a race-ready car on a racetrack. So it was back to normal life when I received an email a week after indicating that there are vacant slots. So I got very excited. So I immediately settled the fee and other requirements, and I just waited for the date to come. So, fast forward to October 13, 2019, the session started with a short orientation about the school and the Level 1 class itself, motorsport, driving, and racing concepts such as oversteer, understeer, racing flags, and the racing line. After the orientation, they provided us with racing suits, head socks, and helmets, which we excitedly put on and head down to the pits, where the Vios race cars are waiting for us. So what are the differences between these race cars from the regular Vios, aside from the racing livery? So starting from the exterior, a set of 15-inch Rotareeves wheels wrapped in Bridgestone Potenzas. Then for the stopping power, an all-around disc setup composed of Brembo brake pads and slotted rotors. A sporty suspension setup as well, giving it a much more aggressive stance. Fender liners were also stripped out to reduce weight, and of course a TRD spoiler. Moving into the interior, you'll notice the TRD roll cage, OMP bucket seat, OMP 5-point harness, OMP steering wheel, and the OMP pedal set. Aside from those, the interior is also stripped out, meaning no rear seats, headliner, carpet, glove box, interior lamps, head unit, and etc. It is also equipped with a fire suppression system. And to make things a little bit more fancier, it's still equipped with air conditioning. And last but not the least is the powertrain. It is still equipped with the same 1.5 liter engine, but I think it's been tuned to increase mid-range power band. And the exhaust was also upgraded to TRD components, and it's also equipped with a TRD LSD and a clutch kit. So final instructions were given and a class picture taking was held. We were then asked to find a co-driver who has the same or similar height and shape, and that's where I met Paulo de Borja, a deputy editor at C Magazine. After that, we were given the choice to pick our car. All of them are basically the same, but some of the race cars are the actual cars that the celebrities use during the Vios Circuit Championship. I gave him the honors to drive first. Getting in is a different experience. You have to raise those legs higher than usual to get in, and buckling up is a serious business as I watch my co-driver being guided in setting the harness.
Restart ka na?
Once we buckled up, we rolled out of the box and into the track for our first activity. The first activity was braking, specifically threshold braking. Similar to those first few tests in Gran Turismo, we're going to accelerate to 80 kilometers per hour, then slam on the brakes to stop the car within the designated area, which is 20 meters long, or roughly the length of the three of these cars.
Your speed was under 80 kilometers per hour. Should maintain speed at 80.
As you have seen, my first attempt was a fail. I hesitated as I have never done such a maneuver. I didn't reach 80 kilometers per hour and brake too early. But on the following attempts, I nailed the exercise. The cones were safe. Braking. It may look simple for some of you. Hit the brakes to slow down the car and that's it. But on the track, it's more complicated. One of the goals of this exercise is to not engage ABS. Engaging it will result in slower time on the track. So threshold braking eliminates that problem, as this technique stops the car a bit faster than with ABS engaged. Next up is a slalom course. The essence of this activity is having control over the car as you push your limit, but not to the point that you run over the cones, or in a much worse case, on the wall. TRS also held a little competition after our practice runs. The fastest one on each course will have the bragging rights, and on the West course, my co-driver set the fastest time, which is 25.37 seconds.
What happened is you can adjust
I regretted not pushing a bit harder as I feared I would run over all the cones, which cost me time. 6 seconds slower than Paulo. And I also hit 2 cones, which cost me 4 more seconds. Another thing to take from this is to not look at what you could hit, which is in this case the cones or the wall and ditch on the track. You should always look in between gaps or 4 spaces and where you want the car to go. And finally, the main highlight of level 1, 5 laps around the entire Clark International Speedway, abbreviated as CIS. The entire CIS is a 4.189 kilometers long, which consists of 18 turns. It has 2 main sections, the East and the West course. The East course has more straights and wider turns, while the West course is more technical as it has more turns. The essence of this activity is to show the proper racing line, when to brake, and when to turn in. We did this in a follow the leader, no overtaking format behind the safety car. And on each lap, the pace goes faster. So enough talk and more of the driving. I also tried doing some heel-toe downshifting, and with the OMP pedals, it's much way easier doing it. On the last lap, I tried going a bit faster than I used before. So on the straight, I hit like around 130 kilometers per hour, and that was my fastest ever. Overall, the feeling of driving the car is really different from driving any ordinary subcompact sedan. It really makes you want to rev it much higher, like around 3000 RPM and above, because the power is really in that spot, or in the mid-range rather. The car feels really planted to the road, and it's stiff. Body roll have been significantly reduced. After all of the activities, we head back into the pits. Too bad, as I want to do more laps around CIS. At this point, we were given the opportunity to take pictures of and with the car. So aside from the actual racing application of these activities, you could also apply these techniques in real-world driving. My co-driver wrote an article about this, in which I'll link on the description down below, so be sure to read it as well. Comment down below if you ever find me on one of the pictures. After that, we went back to the briefing room, did the closing remarks, and returned the racing gear, and finally received our certificate of completion. It was really a great experience, and I cannot wait to take on level 2. Thank you for watching, and comment down below if you ever have any questions.